everyone, it's Hayes, and in today's video we're going to discuss some theories about Alya for the next season of Miraculous Ladybug.
That's my girl right there.
Now, don't get me wrong, I love Alya, however, I do sadly think this next season is going to be actually quite hard on her. So we already saw in episodes like Senti Bubbler and Rocketeer how much of a burden keeping Marinette's identity a secret was, as well as her being Rena furtive, and while she's had a bit of a season off from all of that since Monarch Daddy had all the Miraculouses, I definitely think that aspect is going to come back into play. One of the scenes at the end of Recreation is of Marinette, somehow, I don't know, putting the Miraculouses back into their other forms before Gabriel changed them all into rings. Honestly, I have no clue how the man did that or how Marinette changed them back, but I also don't care.
None of my business. It's none of my business.
But from this scene, it does seem like Marinette has told Alya who Monarch Daddy is. She doesn't state it explicitly, but she mentions the wish taking place in the basement along with the double wedding rings being left, so it definitely implies that Marinette told Alya that Gaby Baby was Monarch Daddy, and I am gonna miss these nicknames so much. Lila, whatever your new name is, both villain name and new disguise name, they better be excellent names to make nicknames from. So I'm sure Alya knowing who Monarch Daddy was will help her support Marinette more, which is good, even though I definitely think she should have told Adrien immediately, like Marinette still hasn't, and I'm sure Marinette knowing it was her boyfriend's dad along with keeping it a secret is taking its toll on her, and I'm sure she and Alya will be having many sleepovers. She should just move in at this point. However, I'm sure this secret will have an effect on Alya too. While she and Marinette can lean on each other, she'll be complicit in hiding this from Adrien, who she is meant to be good friends with, and to be fair, if I was friends with someone, I'd want them to tell me if one of my parents was a supervillain, but this video isn't the one to discuss the show's poor choices in.
Not today.
And adding to that, I also think it will strain her relationship with Nino. We already saw what happened between them in Rocketeer, and although I doubt this time that he's gonna think she has feelings for Cat Noir, I think he'll be able to tell she's keeping secrets from him, thus putting a strain on their relationship. The way I see the hero team is Ladybug in charge, with Cat Noir and Rena Rouge being second in command, depending if the writers want to ignore Adrien in that episode or not.
The truth hurts.
So while I don't think Nino would necessarily mind not being on like the management team, I don't know, but I think he would mind Alya just not being able to tell him things because she's part of this like exclusive top 3 team on the larger Miraculous team, and he isn't. The two of them obviously know each other's identities, so he's going to be well aware that Alya, if she's in this top 3, is obviously closer to Ladybug than she's letting on, and maybe he'll wonder if Alya is aware of who Monarch Daddy was. And if Nino doesn't speculate this, I definitely think someone else on the team will. If I was a hero on this team, honestly, I would expect to be told who the other villain was who were all fighting for a year, you know what I mean? Like, I'd expect to be told. So, if Nino doesn't say something, I think someone else on the team will, because I do think it's a bit weird they haven't been told yet. Just my opinion. So even if Nino doesn't ask that specifically, I think he'll still be able to tell Alya is keeping something from him, and because Nino can't keep his mouth shut to save his life, which Alya is aware of, she physically cannot tell him.
Sucks to be you.
I know she said before that her and Nino don't keep secrets from each other, but this time she will have to. And I'm unsure how Nino will react to this. I'm not sure they break up over it, but I am 50-50 on that, to be honest. I'm not 100% confident he wouldn't. But perhaps when Cat Noir does find out it was Gabriel Gress doing this to the city, and he lets everybody know, because he's not going to not tell anyone, I'm pretty sure Nino will be livid with Alya for keeping that secret from Adrien, and I definitely do think he could break up with her at that point. But same with a potential Adrianette breakup, I don't think it would last forever. I think they would get back together. And another strain on Alya could be her Ladybug. We all know how much she loves that thing, and in Rocketeer she was really disheartened when she couldn't post her Rena furtive pictures on there. I think it's going to be difficult for her to run when she's out as Rena Rouge all the time. Not impossible, just difficult, since Rena Rouge will have to appear enough to keep suspicion off herself, and she obviously couldn't write about things that weren't public knowledge, so unless she starts a blog about something else, it also puts her future in jeopardy, which I'm sure will put even more strain on her. I don't think this means she will stop being Rena Rouge, but I think perhaps it could mean there are larger gaps where we only get Alya instead of Alya and Rena Rouge, so she can come to terms with the weight of everything. And another fun little thing to keep the strain on Alya, like I said, I don't think this is going to be a fun season for her, could be Suhan. Going back to that scene from the end of Recreation, Suhan is now aware that Alya knows Marinette is Ladybug and that Gabriel Babes was Hawk Daddy. And in that scene, he didn't seem to be all that bothered about Alya knowing all of this. So is she going to start Guardian training too, like Luca? Will she be privy to even more secrets? While I do think Alya would make a great Guardian, again, I think it's just going to put even more stress and strain on her. Like I said, I don't think Alya is going to have a good season.
However,
I do think one person that could help Alya will be Lila's new identity. Edna Mode, or not. I don't know what she's going to look like or what her name's going to be next season, so let's just call her Stacy. I have no doubt Stacy is going to come into the school and try befriending everyone with the goal of destroying Marinette. I don't know what this girl wants or why. She just needs some soup and a lie down, to be honest. Oh my god, or a bath. Have a bath. You'll feel so much better after a bath, Stacy. Anyway, once again, Stacy will be friends with them all. Who could be bothered to befriend the same group of people for the second time in a row? I don't know, it would never be me. And like last time, I think Lila would go for Adrian again because she obviously knows his dad was Monarch. However, before I think she could get close enough to reveal that to him, I think Alya would step in. Let her know that Adrian is with Marinette, largely because Alya was pretty useless last time when it came to Lila. It says a lot when Sabrina did more than Alya when it came to Lila. So Alya will step in and Stacy will then focus on Alya, and maybe they get close and Alya ends up venting to the new villain of the show and putting everybody in jeopardy.
sounds like fun.
Honestly, the only non-serious things I'm predicting for Alya with the information we know now is that I'm sure there will be some shenanigans involved with Trix almost getting spotted by her sisters. So those are my predictions for Alya, like I said, with the information we know so far. Of course, I would love to know what you think, besties, and I will see you in the next one.